If education was truly designed to help people reach their full potential, it would look way different. Hey guys, my name is Austin Hale, and the purpose of this channel is to help parents rethink education and to help individuals, yes, you, reach your full potential and be your own best. But first, gotta expand your awareness. So if you're new here, I spent the last 10 years in the mindset and education space. I've worked with clients in multiple countries, overcame addiction, built businesses, cultivated a marriage. We have multiple kids now and moved our family across the country. So I've experienced a lot, probably just like you. But mainly, I've actually worked through a lot and I've helped a lot of people do that as well. So before we get into the content, if you hear something that you like, if you have a question about something that you hear, feel free to drop a comment and I'd be happy to go back and forth with you and explain it. But honestly, it'd be better if you just sent me a message in one of the social media links below. That way we could connect one-on-one. But I will never know who you are if you don't reach out. Okay? And I'm a huge advocate of a closed mouth does not get fed. So don't be shy, subscribe, and shoot me a DM. All right? So let's get back into the video. So, what would a real education look like? And why does the education system that we have now give us these crappy results that we have now? I mean, people don't have the relationship they want. They don't have the money they want. They don't have the mental true happiness and clarity that they want. And so when we're looking at a real education and what that would look like, a real education would bring you self-awareness. A real education would allow you to understand your own thoughts. It would allow you to understand your emotions, your behaviors, and you wouldn't have to feel like you're running around crazy with your head cut off all day when you're just simply a product of the system you have been placed in. Isn't that crazy? The system did not actually do you right because we don't think critically nowadays. We just think emotionally. It never taught us how to learn or how to think, right? Like, what would it be worth for you to have the ability to continuously develop new skills? What would it be worth for you to be able to question things effectively instead of just blindly accepting it? Because that's what the school system taught us to do. Don't ask questions. This is what you're told. You need to have permission. If you don't like it, too bad, deal with it. Wasn't that what we were all exposed to? And so when now we're outside of school and we have to direct ourselves, it's a lot harder. But if we were learning how to do these things as kids, we would be able to actually cultivate the life that we want very quickly. We could build great community. We could have great relationships. We could make more money. Simply, we would be more happy with who we are and understand why we are the way we are on a basic level, right? So the point of like emotional intelligence, people want to have that, but they don't even really understand what their emotions are or how to direct them because we've just been directed by them our entire lives. So when we're looking at what does a real education look like? An effective vocabulary, self-awareness, critical thinking, knowing how to learn, how to think, being able to direct ourselves, having true emotional intelligence, right? So when we're looking at what a real education system develops, a real education system would develop a true human being and developing a true human being to its full potential. And that's what we're here to do. And that's what I've been helping people do. And that's what I'm doing myself for me. I'm not perfect, but I'm walking the path. And I'm so much further than I was. I mean, I have spent like so much time, I mean, helping other people, but for me, myself, studying, I spent a lot of time spinning my wheels. I spent a lot of time learning and searching and researching, but didn't actually turn that into real results. But now we've been able to. right? I mentioned we move across the country. We used to live in a one bedroom, one bath apartment in the city in California, and now we live across the country in a beautiful three-bedroom home with a huge backyard, right? So the point is, real change, like true inner change without immediate external change, is just simply a lie. And why have we been a part of this education system? It's just because that's what we were born into. That's what your parents were born into. That's what your grandparents were born into. And so it's not necessarily that your parents did you wrong, or it's not necessarily that you just got the bad end of the stick. You just were born into a system that doesn't prioritize you as a human being, and that's not best at all. But now we have a way to change that. Now we have a way to truly educate ourselves, especially as parents, a way to cultivate a true, effective, critical learning, critical thinking, critically emotionally sound, right? I know it sounds kind of funny, right? But like the education that we have is critical because that determines your entire life. And what do you want your kids to grow up to see? Do you want your kids to grow up and see them, the parents fighting? Do you want your kid to grow up and see themselves just continuing to be confused and mad and angry and frustrated and not able to truly be able to direct themselves? Or do you want them to grow up and be stable? So, as parents, it takes us to be the example. We're the first wave of change so that we can help our kids actually grow up in the best world, actually have their best life, actually reach their full potential. And that is what a real, true education system should be cultivating. So, if you like that, if that is something that you like, if that is something that you want, go ahead and subscribe, continue to watch the videos because we're going to continue to break down these topics. But right now, if you're the type of person that says, you know what, I want to talk about this more. You know what? I have this problem going on. You know what? I have this that I want to hit this year as a goal. You know what? This has happened to me and I just can't seem to quite break through this issue or this topic, or I'm doing pretty well and I just want to know how to go faster and I just can't seem to do that. How do I grow more? How do I help more people? How do I, improve my relationship even better? Reach out. I'd be happy to share the things that have worked for me. We have an amazing community. We do great events. We have worldwide events. We're going on a cruise next month. We have everything here, and you're able to have access. You're able to tap in. This is something that everybody deserves to be able to know that they and their kids can reach their full potential because our whole lives we've assumed we will not. And that is the definition of accepted and allowed abuse. But we're the ones on the short end of the stick. And that stops now.